legislative policy positions by the town council relative to proposed legislation before the New Hampshire state legislature. Ms. Paul.
This really came about in lieu of everything that had been going on up in Concord, and I think it's good for us to be proactive, not reactive. We should know what's going on. We should, not always, but we should think about taking stands on certain things if it benefits our town. I mean, that's kind of our job. I know we have state reps that do it, but we should also have the ability to do it if the planning board or the town council wanted to take a stand on a bill that was out there, and maybe have the town manager represent us up in Concord and speak on our behalf as a community how we feel about something. I think that's important. It's important to have the Londonderry residents' voices heard as much as possible. Whether I agree with their voice or not, I think that it's important because we all have a different background and we all have a different perspective, and that's great. That's what makes a good board. And I think, if we discuss it, this is up in Concord, this is going to help Londonderry, and, we do it publicly and we're for, or, we're not, we don't do anything, we don't do anything. But if it's something we all agree on, then maybe that's something to give another voice up in Concord, because then they'll understand that it's a large group of people that feel this way, not just one.
So just a quick question. So were you looking at doing individual, Deb?
I'm sorry?
Individual
Bills?
Individual bills, like if they come before us?
I to be honest, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
And that's what this is all about, is to try to put together something to say, how are we going to address this? Is it going to be addressed like this? If there's something that, we ask you or another rep to go to Concord for us to change something. A resident says, Ron, I want you to go up there and get rid of the plastic packaging. Yep. I want you to put this bill forward. And we present it, and the community feels, or the board feels, that's a good idea. We're all for that, considering we have so much PFOAs. We're happy to do that. And that helps move something forward. That's good. It may not work that way, but it also keeps the community and the boards abreast of what's going on up there and how it will affect us. We may not do nothing. We could sit there and say, there's nothing we're going to really stand behind, but there could be something, and that I don't know.
Okay.
So I don't like this because I think it muddies the waters in between us and Concord. I think we've got our own responsibilities to take care of. I think we have 8 reps that are very available in this community that we can take care of. So we're wasting time. We're supposed to be legislating for the town, trying to legislate up in Concord. I know that at least I can only speak for myself and Ron are very aware of what's going on in Concord and are involved in things, and we know how to move things forward if we want to push forward for something or not push forward for something. Taking an official stand as a council, I feel it's not our body, and we have representatives in town to take care of that for us. So it's just outside of our purview.
So do you not think that someone like a town manager going up and speaking against, I'll just use those zoning bills that were up because that was a hot topic, and other towns had their town managers or administrators step forward with letters from their boards saying this is how they felt. You don't think that has even more power than even Ron speaking? If there's something maybe with the police that's going on that could affect us, it doesn't have, it has even more of a bite when our town manager goes and says, listen, this town, this large town, is for this or is against this. I mean,
your contract is public, correct?
It is.
Isn't there a provision in there where we cannot ask you to lobby for things, if I remember?
Oh, no, you can do that.
Okay.
But as long as I'm doing it for you.
Gotcha. I knew there was something in there about that.
I have a code of ethics that says.
Gotcha.
I have a code of ethics that says that I'm here, I serve the community.
Okay.
So if I'm going to go up there to testify, it's because I've been asked to by you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Otherwise, I have no business being up there. That's how I view it.
Okay.
So have you done this before up in Lebanon? If maybe you can elaborate. I mean,
They have policy positions, so I would testify on any bills that are related to those particular policy positions. They have some that they choose not to take action on, they think are irrelevant to their business. There are some that they oppose NHMA's policy positions, and some that they support. So they ask me to testify on those bills when those come up.
can I ask your own opinion? Do you feel that your testimony has some sort of validity when you go to Concord and speak? It's a different perspective.
Well, I guess half the time the bills that I testify on don't go anywhere, so I don't know about that. How much they listen to that, or I really can't answer that. I mean,
well, I was just thinking that their perspective on it,
When I would go to testify from a technical point of view. Here's the information that I have. My community advocates for this, and I would have a written document, and I hand that in, that testimony. So I guess it all depends on who's listening and how much weight they give that. And
Yeah.
in the end of the day, we're interfering with another body, which we have representatives here that can take care of that. It's the same thing where citizens can do that on their own. We even as councilors can go do that on our own and testify on bills. And I know Ron has too as well. So we have the ability to do that. We don't need to officially take up time in this body to discuss issues that are Concord issues.
And that's not what we're doing. We're just putting a policy in place in case something comes up that's important. And this is the policy, this is the procedure, this is the way we handle and address something like this. I'm not saying it's going to happen every week. I mean, Ron, you're up at Concord a lot. I never go, so I have no idea. I work, I can't go. When someone gets up and speaks from a town about something, does that pull a little bit more weight than just a citizen coming up and speaking?
So I'll give you a real life example. In the last 5 years, I think once in Londonderry, Mike and I went up to Londonderry. I went up to Concord and represent Londonderry for the bill that went through to have our sewage go to Derry. That had to be a state law to do that. So I think it would have to be a specific example where it would benefit the entire town. Like, it couldn't be something that's controversial. Like, I would think, as I understand what Sean's saying, is we don't want to have pick a policy position where half the town is for it and half's against, and we go there and testify one way or the other. Then we're alienating our residents. But I think something where the entire body, like that, I can only think of one time in the last 5 years that we had something like that. But that is an example where we went up there and we testified in favor of this for the town to benefit the entire town. It was going to benefit every person in town.
Right.
And we didn't need a policy to do that. Those situations can always come up. We can always take care of those and still do those kind of things. And that makes sense to do.
That's the best way I can answer your question. I think it's just, it does have impact if it's for the entire town. But I think we have to be careful if we get partisan.
No, and I'm not looking to get partisan. I'm looking to protect the interest of people in this town and to give us a stronger, voice up there, really, is what I'm looking to do.
Why wouldn't you do it through the representatives, I guess?
Do you want me to say that right here, right now? They're never available. There's two, that's it. You never see any of them come. They're invited to things. They never show up.
I have no problem accessing them, and I've seen other people have.
You're lucky you're in that clique. I'm not. I have a terrible time reaching them, and I'm a newspaper, and they still don't reach out.
I've referred to other people to them, and they've gotten back to them in a
you're
very
better than me. What can I tell you, Sean?
Would it be reasonable that if we left it at this depth, that if you felt like there was a policy in Concord that would affect Londonderry's entire population, that we'd bring it before the council?
But
would
I'm
that be
not
fair
paying
enough?
attention.
I am. But I'm saying.
But what happens when, just say you don't get reelected next March? Then what? Who's going to be watching?
Well, who would bring this up?
I don't plan on going away either way. So,
but I'm just saying, who would be?
I would be.
And what if you're not? Are you running for?
But I mean, if nobody knows about it, nobody's going to bring it up here anyway. So I mean, if no one,
that's the problem. I'm hoping that the town manager would be able to watch these things for us and say, this is coming up. This is an important bill for Londonderry. Our policy says I'm going to address the council and tell them that this is going on and that we should take a stand one way or another because this has a big thing. It may only happen once every 5 years, but it's something that I think is important for us to protect our town.
Dan, you
But
want
that's
to?
it.
I
No,
just
it's
I just want to say that I think sometimes Concord will mandate us to do certain things where it affects our budget, and I think that's something to me that we should have the town manager going up there and speaking and saying, well, if you pass this, this is going to impact our budget by X amount of dollars, and for a community, it's going to hurt us, whatever.
I think that gets troublesome because the reps up in Concord generally think about how things affect the whole state. I don't want him to have to try to figure out how it affects the whole southern New Hampshire region. And when you're focused too zeroed in on solely if it benefits Londonderry but hurts Litchfield, Wyndham, Derry, and Manchester, then we should just do it and be loud. It puts us at odds in legislation we're not familiar with. The reps up there are familiar with it. They work in it. They go through committees. They hear committee hearings. We don't hear that. We're not sitting through committee hearings. Well, I mean, Ron is. I watch a ton of them, but we're not seeing that entire body of work. So for us to make a decision on something that they go through hours of reviewing, looking through, and going over, listening to testimony at the well, which we're not listening to, it'd be the same thing as if they offered us our opinion without watching our meetings at all or telling us anything. It's just not an educated guess. It's a different governmental body for a reason.
Well, can we take this up, case by case?
That's what I was trying to
Well, yeah,
say.
and that's what we
That's what I was
currently
trying to
do.
say.
I'm
Can we
just
do it case
saying,
by
what
case?
what is the steps to do that?
But that's
so
what we currently do.
Do we as a council or citizens, how do they do that?
So I would
don't
say that
have
they
any
would submit.
trigger.
So I would think that if a citizen had a request like that, they would submit the form.
again, there's
One of
nothing-
us would sponsor it.
Yeah.
There's nothing
It
formally.
would come before. We have that form that
That's
town
to be
manager
put
created.
on the agenda.
Right. But
Yeah.
that's what you want, right? You want it on the agenda. So you can talk about it, right? No?
So I don't think we need anything formal. We have addressed townwide issues
I'm asking
today.
it,
There's-
right?
Well, I'm just-
I'm saying it
I'm-
would be on the agenda.
I know, but how much time in between? These things happen by the time you find out about it, then you get it put on the agenda, then you have the meeting. The vote could have already happened up in Concord and you missed your window.
They can speak at public comment,
I guess
and they have. I mean, this has happened.
It's fine.
Mr. Chair,
No. Yeah, please, Ted.
does the New Hampshire Municipal Association come before any of the boards that you're on to speak on any of these issues that they support or don't support
They do.
in any way? And do the reps themselves take it into account, or do they just brush it aside?
No, they do take it into account. Municipal Association.
And Mr. Town Manager, we belong to the New Hampshire Municipal Association, correct?
We do.
So, in a way, by us belonging to them, we're already going along with their policy decisions that they're putting forth. So I don't know why we need to then also have our own policies that we want to support or not support if we're already part of the New Hampshire Municipal Association, which in a way we're supporting the policies that they're trying to push forward.
Yeah, this just seems unnecessary.
I'm fine with it on a case-by-case basis with Dan, right? I mean,
I think that
Can I
if
speak as a rep?
We're on public
This
comment.
is not public comment.
Absolutely.
I think that if the town manager saw something or planning board saw something and brought it to our attention,
Which they can do today.
then we could address it at that time and
No, I
say,
agree,
let's
but I don't
see
think
what we
any
can
of
do.
our boards and committees know that they can do that.
Well, I think we need to just get the word out to them
Yeah.
Yeah.
to do that.
I don't think
they
we need
know
any
that-
official
because
I think
when
sometimes
asked the
when
planning
there's
board-
4,000 bills that come across the State House, it's very hard to actually follow up on what's happening or when's happening. But certainly there's way too many bills, and our state news doesn't really cover any of them. And I think the New Hampshire Municipal Association emails out pretty well to our town manager if there's something concerning that we should be speaking upon. And so if it does, and I think he's brought it to our attentions in the past, that something may or may not come up, I think we can go off of that.
Yeah.
And he's here to advise us when there's something that may come up.
I think that's great. I heard from somebody on the planning board that they wanted to do something and they didn't know how to do that, which then brought this whole thing up. And so maybe it's just that the boards have to be educated on the process of if they have something they want to address that's going on in Concord, what is our policy, back to our policy, of doing that they may not know because there's nothing written, and those boards change constantly. At least when there's somebody new, they're going to get a thing that says, if this is this is what you do. If this, just like.
I mean, anyone's welcome to come to public comment and bring it up to a public comment for us to address it.
I understand, but that's not necessarily true in planning board or planning department because there's no public comment.
I think this is
Yeah, but
so
they can
rare
bring
of
it
an
to the town
occurrence.
council.
Yeah.
This is so rare of an occurrence. I don't think we necessarily need policy, and I think it's blatantly obvious when we do need to address something like the thing with Mike and the water. That was completely obvious. So I don't think this is necessary.
I think we just asked the town manager just to put it out there to other boards that if they have an issue or something like that, to please bring it to his attention. He can bring it to our attention, and we can do it case by case.
And I also think this is a good opportunity to direct people to our state reps and give them opportunities. I think sometimes people just say they're not available and they feel that way, but they don't try or they don't interact or they heard somebody else. I think they've been very available in the past, and if they're not, I'd like to hear about it, and I can help address that with them and help them bridge that gap because they've been very available to everyone I've sent to.
No, I disagree. So I've had a different experience.
So
So we'll just
In
have
my
the town
30 years
manager
here.
bring it to our attention. Deb, is that
I'm sorry?
the town manager will bring it to our attention if he sees anything he thinks is
Yeah,
relevant?
there needs to just
Okay.
some sort of verbal
I'm
thing
good with
that
that.
says this is how you got to do this.
does
Or this is
that
the
work
way
for you,
do
Mr.
this.
Town Manager?
So what I can do is I can send you out the NHMA legislative bulletins that come out on a regular basis. But I will tell you, and Councilor Paul brought it up, things happen exceptionally quickly up there. And in between meetings will probably not be time to be able to react, especially as the process goes along, and you folks are aware of that in terms of the process. And then there'll be information that there's going to be an amendment to that. You might find that out the night before. That could dramatically change what a bill is. So you just have to kind of keep that in mind, and that so you have basically no time to react to those. So
But
just have to
that's
consider those.
That's another point to why I don't think us as a body needs to be diving into these waters, because we could have you go up there, say in this meeting, hey, go lobby there on Wednesday. They make an amendment Tuesday night, and all of a sudden it's a total different bill. We have you lobby for something that ends up against the town interests, and that things have dramatically changed where a bill, something I've supported, turned into something I have totally not supported in an amendment.
That's precisely why the this is really an issue for you. It's not for me.
No.
It's not the administration.
No.
But that's exactly why you have legislative policy positions. So when they do change that, well, this is our position. Now you dramatically change that bill. We're now opposed to that bill, and we're actively going to testify against it. But again, this has nothing to do with administration. This is solely public policy, which is your realm.
I think I'm fine with the case-by-case basis, like Dan suggested.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of concerned when he said that things can change quickly and how to reach us, but
Well-
I think if he reaches us out by email, maybe, and say,
Well, I think the problem is we don't have an administrative staff
Right.
that can just go at becking call to go up to Concord.
Right.
I mean-
These, our town manager and our town staff are very busy on the
To
day-to-day
ease your
basis here.
fear, I can tell you right now that things can change in the moment. We can agree as a body that we're going to make an amendment, and it could change the whole bill right there in that exact moment. And there's zero time to notify anybody. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where
This,
we'll all agree and we'll make an amendment. We'll take a recess. We'll go process the amendment, bring it back, and it happens in less than an hour.
And this is why we've got to
so-
rely on our delegation, because it is too much of a judgment call, and I don't want us trying to make it one step removed from a body that's not our body.
And I think to really make this a real actionable item, we'd actually have to hire staff that are lobbyists for the town to be at Concord. And I don't think that's reasonable for us.
And we have 8 state reps that can
so we do
take
it
care
case
of
by
this.
case.
Yeah.
Is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Case by case. You good with that, Ted?
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Next up, I'll open public comment. Welcome, Christine.
Representative Christine Perez, I'd like to clear up a few things about the somewhat inaccurate things that were talked about regarding our town manager testifying at hearings. I have been to many hearings where town managers have spoken for their towns. I can think of many times that it would have been appropriate, especially in the municipal committee for them. And as far as things changing from minute to minute, we're talking about hearings. We're not talking about them coming and voting. If a bill is put forward, that is the bill that the hearing is on. So that is the bill that the town manager would be addressing. He has done it in the past, and other towns have him there all the time. As far as Sean, you may think you know everything that goes on at the State House, but you do not. And you have gone up to testify as a town councilor. You have too, and so did Councilor Farrell. Did you get permission from everybody else on the board to go and do that? And that was about a bill that affected every single town in the state, correct? Not just Londonderry. And you, Representative Faber, have used your position as a town councilor to push bills publicly at the State House. And were never reprimanded by it, and you should have been. We need somebody to come and speak for it. One of the things that would have been appropriate to have a town manager is the business about perhaps opening up a second polling place for the federal elections. That's directly affected Londonderry more than any other town in the state. That would have been a bill to have a position on and have your town manager come up and talk. So to think that it is not appropriate, and things don't change minute to minute, Ron, in a public hearing. The public hearing is on the bill, correct?
Correct, but the bills do change, Christine. You know
they do. Okay, so you need to take advantage. For example, having a town manager at the hearings for the finance would be huge. I'll give you an example. Finance took away us getting the registration for all those rental cars. Is that correct?
So, I'm sorry, I was...
The finance committee took away our ability to have our cars registered and us get the money for them here in town, correct?
I think what you mean is the legislature passed a bill that took the fleets away from municipalities.
Took the fleets away.
Put it to the
That affects us huge. We got huge amounts of money, huge, from all those rental cars. That's something that a town manager could have gone and spoken to because it took money out of our pockets. So you think you know everything, those of you, I'm not talking to you, who have not been to Concord, and don't say that you do have other counselors in town. You do. You do. You have other reps in town. But do they get back to the town manager? Do they get back to us? Do they put in bills?
Yes.
No. No.
Thank you, Christine.
I will say, the magic words, I'm a citizen, don't absolve you and change you not into a state rep. Everyone knows you're a state rep when you speak at the library. Everyone knows you're a state rep when you speak elsewhere.
Sean.
So
Sean, are you talking to me while I'm still up here, or are you talking to me after I turn away?
This is public comment, please.
I don't deserve that.
I'm just
That's
responding
inappropriate.
to what you said.
That's inappropriate. But when you say, I am here as town councilor Sean Faber,
councilor.
you are representing this town.
Now I'm representing me.
Okay.
No, not when you say,
Let's not argue.
I am here
Come on, please.
as a town councilor.
I know.
You
The
did
last
that
bit.
for the suicide bill, and the state had to come down on you about it.
That never happened.